So FundedNext Futures new rules. Are we cooked in 2026? So FundedNext Futures, they just actually sent out a new email less than a day ago going into this new 2026 year. And it actually is going to be degrading the accounts and making them a little bit worse. So what I'm going to be doing is just giving you guys a brutally honest opinion and cover the changes and what they actually mean. And I do not care if I'm affiliated with them. We're going to cover which accounts got cooked and how I will be trading with FundedNext moving forward, if at all. And is FundedNext still good? Now, before we get into this, I will say we knew this was coming. So when I first covered FundedNext, like I think 3 or 4 months ago now, we always knew it was way too good to last. You see this with prop firms. They come out with these super favorable rules to get market share, and then they start to slowly reel them back. And literally just about 6 weeks ago or something like that, they just came out with another email that kind of made the accounts a little bit more degraded, a little bit worse. And now that is happening again. But we're going to really talk about like how bad are these changes, or are these changes even bad at all, who this affects, and are they still a good firm to trade with? Before we get into that, I'm a 6-figure trader. If you want a 100% free futures trading course, you can get the link to that in the description. You can check out the link to the premium community in the description as well. So now that we got that all out of the way, let's just jump right into the email. Now you can see on the screen, I have the email up here. I just made it a little bit bigger so you guys can actually see here. So they say something new is exciting, something new and exciting is coming. So it's funny how they always frame this. So the first thing that is great is they do have a price reduction. So the new price for the legacy is going to be $149. So if you go on the website right here, you can see the price for legacy 50K is $159, decreases from $159 to $149. So that's obviously great, right? And the reset prices also has been decreased from $139 to $131. So those are great changes. They made them cheaper to get the accounts, right? So that's always great. But the new thing that's not great about this is they changed the maximum loss limit to, I guess, soften the blow a little bit. They changed it from 2,500 to 2,000. They were one of like by far the best on the market when it comes to the 50K being a 1-to-1. We had never seen that before, and I guess we don't see it anymore now. And I guess we know why we haven't seen it, because obviously it wasn't sustainable, and they have to have changed this from, again, the profit target was 2,500 and the maximum loss limit used to be 2,500. Now the profit target is going to be 2,500 and the maximum loss limit is going to be 2,000. So that's not that big of a change, and at least they did kind of decrease the price to soften the blow. This account is still a really great account in my opinion, but obviously it's going to be a little bit worse now, right? It's going to be a little bit worse now because they made the maximum loss limit a little bit less and just a little bit less value there. But at least, like we said, with that change, at least they actually did kind of decrease the price a little bit to kind of adjust for that. But in my opinion, where things really got kind of cooked here is going to be the more updates. They're really, what I'm seeing here, what I'm noticing is they must be losing a lot of money on the Rapids, because last time we had the change. So let's actually go to Rapids now. They had the change where the Rapid was 1,500 and the max loss limit on the 25K Rapid was 1,500. But they nerfed that 25K Rapid. But now on top of those previous nerfs, they have increased the price from $99 on the 25K to $109. So a $10 price increase there. But really where we're seeing the huge price increase is going to be on the 50Ks. So now it goes from a $149 to $200, right? So that's a 33% price increase. That's an absolutely massive price increase, and there is actually no benefit to this. They're just making it more expensive. The 25K Rapid got worse last time, but at least it kept the same price, but now it's more expensive and worse. The 50K didn't get worse, but it got way more expensive in their other account. The 100K I never really consider getting 100K, but the 100K is also more expensive now as well. And again, because you could pass the challenge in one day, they have no benchmark days, no daily loss limit, no intraday trailing drawdown, no buffer, no monthly activation fees. I just think that they were losing too much money on these accounts, and you know, once they got the market share that they needed, they have to increase the profits. So again, when it comes to prop firms, this was something that we were expecting to see. Obviously, it's not a good thing for on our end as a trader for the things to increase with no benefits on a Rapid plan at all. You know, if you were paying $1,000 per month for rent, and then your rent went from $1,000 to $1,350 per month or something like this, and you get the exact same thing, that's obviously not a great change. So that's just a reality of the situation. You know, not great news, to be honest. nerfs across the board, basically, more nerfs to the accounts. So are we cooked, and are they a bad firm now? I would still say no, they are not a bad firm, but honestly, it's nowhere near as good as it used to be before. With the nerfs of the account of the 25Ks and the drastic price increases, they still have some decent products. The 50Ks are still good, but not as good, and they are not as overwhelmingly as good as they were before. Still no buffer on one day to pass. I mean, these accounts are still really good accounts, right? Like, they didn't change the rules. They didn't actually change the rules. They increased the price. So I do like the fact that you can pass in one day. They do have the payouts every 3 days. They have no benchmark days. They have no daily loss limit, no trailing drawdown, no buffer. I really love the no buffer, and no monthly fees, right? So they're still really good, in my opinion. But again, the problem is when you set the bar so high and then you have to pull it back down to reality, you're obviously going to get a negative reaction or perception from that. But the accounts are actually still pretty good. And right now, I would say the best options for them is still the 25K Rapid or the 50K Legacy. Now, in my other video, I did say the 25K Rapid did get cooked. But if we actually take a look here at the 25K Rapid, so you can see the 25K Rapid, your target is 1,500, but you have 2 minis, right? So if we have 2 minis here, my little futures cheat sheet that I made for myself and community members, 1,500 is the goal, right? 1,500 with the 2 minis. So you can see here 2 minis, 1,500. You would have to get 15 points, really 15.25 points in profit to hit that profit goal. And then if we actually go to the 50K, which is now significantly more expensive, we have 3 minis and we have a target of $3,000. So let's go 3 minis here, but the target is $3,000. You can see you have to hit 20.25 points, right? So still significantly easier here to hit 15.25 points than 20.25 points. So still, because of the leverage and things like that, it's a bit easier to still pass the 25K version of the Rapid. So I would still recommend that one actually when we really kind of look down at it. And also as well, even though the 50K Legacy isn't quite as good as it was anymore, with that 1-to-1 drawdown to profit target, it's still pretty good, right? Like, it's still like they didn't make it drastically different. They just took it out $500 and they made it cheaper, so it's a little bit more forgivable there. But the Rapid accounts, again, they just got more expensive, so it is what it is. But one thing we want to remember is that prop firms are just tools. You want to think about prop firms like training wheels on a bike. Like I said, this was going to happen. It was bound to happen. The rules were way too favorable. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we get 2 or 3 more emails like this throughout the year of 2026, because at the end of the day, the prop firm's priorities are not necessarily in the same vein or favor as the traders, right? Like, they have to run a business, and the more people that fail the challenges and things like that, the more money that they make. So it just is what it is, and they make most of their money from people failing challenges. That's not necessarily true with every prop firm, but that's generally true even for the best prop firms out there. You have to be realistic with yourself from that, and they do present a great opportunity, and they are tools that we take advantage of. But just like in crypto, I used to trade crypto before. We say not your keys, not your crypto. We're trading prop firms. I like to say not your capital, not your profits. So you always want to be taking your money out of these prop firms and be aiming to build your own accounts, and just realize that the rules are always going to, for the most part, become less favorable in the form of traders. They're not really gonna, try to give out more and more money, right? And again, in this case, we knew that the rules were just so tipped in the favor of the traders that they had to reel this stuff back. So in my opinion, it's not great changes, but it still is what it is. It's not a terrible prop firm by any means. I still like the Rapid accounts and the no buffer that they have and all the benefits and things like that. But it just got slightly more worse, right? So, and I'm still going to be personally trading with them. But if you still do want to trade with them, you can use the code Dante Trades to save yourself right around 10% with them if they are not running any discounts. And using the link in the description /code will still get you the best discounts for whatever they're going to be running as far as promotions wise or discount wise with FundedNext. So that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed that video, drop a like, subscribe, all that, and I'll see you in the next video.